Hello, my lovely students. I hope you're doing great, boys and girls. Okay, last lesson we took the pronoun grammar lesson, right? And today we're going to take pronouns I and me. Okay, let's start. Okay, so now we have to know that I and me are both pronouns. Okay, I and me are pronouns. And I and me take the place of your name. They refer to your name. Okay, but what is the difference between I and me? We use the pronoun I in the subject of the sentence, in the beginning of the sentence, before the action verb. Okay? So we always start the sentence with the pronoun I. For example, I talk to you. I start my sentence with the pronoun I in the subject of the sentence, in the subject part. But we use the pronoun me after the action verb. Okay? After the action verb, we use the pronoun me. I don't use the pronoun I after the action verb. After the action verb, I use the pronoun me. So in the middle of the sentence or in the end of the sentence, we use the pronoun me. For example, he calls me. I use the pronoun me because it came after the action verb calls. Okay. One more important thing you have to know that we always write the pronoun I with a capital letter. Don't ever forget this important thing. The pronoun I should be always written in capital letter. Okay. Okay, now look at the two pronouns I and me. Use the pronoun I before the action verb, always and forever. In the beginning of the sentence, you always start with the pronoun I, okay? Before the action verb. Use the pronoun me after the action verb, in the middle of the sentence or in the end of the sentence. Okay, boys and girls, when you talk about yourself and another person, name yourself last. If I want to talk about Marwan and myself, I'm going to say Marwan and I went to the mall. So I start with Marwan and then I name myself. Okay? I don't say I and Marwan. No, Marwan and I. Also, if I said the teacher called Hamza and me, she called Hamza and me. I start with Hamza and then I name myself and me. Okay? It's time for classwork now. Open your notebooks, page 543. Pronouns I and me. As we took the pronouns I and me, take the place of your name. And also, we said we use the pronoun I in the subject of the sentence, in the beginning of the sentence. And we use the pronoun me after an action verb and in the end of the sentence. Also, we said always write the pronoun I with a capital letter, always and forever. And if you don't write it with capital letter, it's a big problem. Look at the example. Dot calls me. Why did we use the pronoun me? Because it came after the action verb calls. So, and it's also in the end of the sentence. So dot calls me, not dot calls I. Look at the second sentence. I talk to her. Why did I put the pronoun I? Oh, that's really easy. Because we said when we start the sentence, we start with the pronoun I, not with the pronoun me. And I is in the subject of the sentence. It's in this part of the sentence. That's why we use the pronoun I. Also, we said when you talk about yourself and another person, name yourself last. Jabber and I talk on the phone. We know that the pronoun I is used in the subject of the sentence. But if I am talking about someone and myself, I say his or her name first and then I. Okay? That's why I said Jabber and I, not I and Jabber. Also, the other sentence, Dot calls Jabber and me. Of course, I'm going to use the pronoun me here because it's after the action verb calls and it's in the end of the sentence. But do you see Jabber? His name is before me. Dot calls Jabber and me, not Dot calls me and Jabber. Okay. Write I or me to complete each sentence. The I should be written in capital letter, boys and girls. It's wrong if you write the I with a small letter. Number 1. I or me see an acorn. We start the sentence with I or me. Excellent, with I, because we use I in the subject of the sentence, in the beginning of the sentence, before the action verb. So, I see an acorn. Number 2. It gives. I or it gives me an idea. Of course, me. Very good. Why? Because there's an action verb before it. Gives. So after the action verb, we use the pronoun me. Number 3. That's really easy again. I or me take the acorn home. Of course I. We never start the sentence with the pronoun me. I take the acorn home. Number 4. Dot and I or Dot and me painted. Now we're still in the subject part. We're still before the action. The action verb is paint. What do we put? I or me? Think. I. Excellent. Because we're in the beginning of the sentence, in the subject part of the sentence, and we're still before the action verb. So we say dot and I, not dot and me. Number 5. C dot and me, or C dot and I hide the acorn? Now look at the first word, see. It's an action verb. What do we put after the action verb? I or me? Excellent. I know you said the correct answer. Me. C dot and me. Not C dot and I, because we have an action verb before it. I know you did the classwork with me, but I just want you to check your answers again, please. Here's the answer key. Okay, so now we have another page, classwork page for this lesson. Open your notebooks, page 552, please. Pronouns I and me. Mark the letter of the word or words that complete each sentence. Number 1. Blank saw a squirrel. Dad and me, or Dad and I, or me. We're in the subject part of the sentence, in the beginning of the sentence. Of course, Dad and I. We never start the sentence with the pronoun me. That's why the answer is Dad and I saw a squirrel. Number 2. That's really easy. Blank found an acorn. Me, or Dad and me, or I? Of course I. Good job. We start the sentence with the pronoun I directly without thinking. We never start the sentence with the pronoun me or even Dad and me. It's wrong. Number 3. Jabber asks. Be careful. Asks is an action verb. Asks blank for clues. Jabber asks dot and me, or dot and I, or I? Excellent. Dot and me. Why? Because there's an action verb, asks. It's in the middle of the sentence. Which pronoun should we use in the middle of the sentence after the action verb? Me. Excellent job. That's why we choose dot and me. We never use the pronoun I after the action verb. Number 4. Blank put the acorn in a hole. Do you see the blank? The blank is in the beginning of the sentence, in the subject part of the sentence. How do we start? Dot and me, or dot and I? Of course, dot and I. We never ever start with the pronoun me. That's why we choose dot and I. Put the acorn in a hole. Number 5. It was. Remember when we took the verbs am, is, are, was, were? Was is a verb. It's not an action verb, but it's a verb. It was clever of blank to solve the mystery. It was clever of I, me, or me and I. Which pronoun do we use in the middle of the sentence after the verb? Excellent. Me. Not me and I, because we cannot use I in the middle of the sentence after the verb. So the answer is me. It was clever of me. Grade 1, please check your answers. Thank you.